Across the world's most remote deserts, mountains, and jungles, researchers are unearthing a history that shouldn't exist. They're refinding artifacts and structures so impossibly sophisticated they defy everything we think we know about the ancient world. These are technologies that appear thousands of years before humanity was supposedly capable of creating them. And yet, they are real etched into stone, buried deep within forgotten ruins, and systematically ignored by mainstream history. These discoveries don't just ask us to reconsider the past, they demand it. Take a journey to the monumental sites of Egypt or the high mountains of Peru. Here you'll find stones weighing dozens of tons, carved with a precision that rivals modern machinery. They feature perfectly straight lines, flawless right angles, and complex interlocking shapes, all polished to a mirror-like sheen. When modern engineers are asked how they would replicate these feats, their answers are telling. They talk about diamond-tipped tools, high-powered lasers, and advanced sonic drills. They admit that with today's technology, it would be a monumental challenge. So the question remains, how did ancient builders with supposedly simple tools achieve a level of perfection that we struggle to match even now? What forgotten technique allowed them to shape mountains with the finesse of a jeweler? The mystery only deepens when we examine the materials themselves. Archaeologists have uncovered artifacts made from alloys that simply should not have existed in their time. Consider the famous iron pillar of Delhi in India, a 1,600-year-old column of iron that has resisted rust for centuries, a feat that modern metallurgy only perfected in the last 100 years. Elsewhere, discoveries of ancient aluminum objects have baffled scientists. Since producing aluminum requires electrolysis, a process that demands immense electrical power. And then there are the even more mysterious metallic compounds, compositions that our own labs cannot easily replicate using any known ancient methods. Who were these master metallurgists? What furnace, what formula allowed them to forge the impossible? While stunning, these metals are not the only evidence of advanced knowledge. Perhaps the most famous example is the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer of breathtaking complexity. Discovered in a shipwreck, its intricate system of gears and dials was designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses with remarkable accuracy. For decades, it was considered a complete anomaly, a one-of-a-kind miracle. But it is not alone. Other discoveries hint at a widespread and sophisticated understanding of engineering that goes far beyond simple tools. We find evidence of complex gear systems in other cultures, schematics for advanced water pumps, and mechanical calendars that tracked celestial cycles with stunning precision. These devices don't just show technical skill. They reveal a deep theoretical understanding of physics and mathematics, a scientific foundation that history tells us should and have existed for another 1,000 years. And then there are the megaliths, the ultimate testament to an engineering prowess we cannot explain. In places like Baalbek in Lebanon, Pumapunku in Bolivia, and across the globe, we find enormous stones moved miles from their quarries, often across treacherous mountains and barren deserts, seemingly without the use of the wheel. Blocks weighing hundreds, even thousands, of tons were lifted and placed with an accuracy so fine that a razor blade cannot fit between them. More than just brute force, these structures display an astonishing intellect. Many are aligned with perfect precision to the solstices, to distant star systems, and to the subtle cycles of the planets. This level of planning and execution requires a knowledge of geodesy, astronomy, and engineering that our own culture has only recently rediscovered. How did they move the immovable? How did they know the exact positions of the stars in a world without telescopes? Perhaps the most frustrating part of this puzzle is the evidence that has been lost or hidden. In the archives of archaeology, there are stories of tantalizing clues that have vanished. Researchers in the 19th and early 20th centuries reported finding anomalous construction techniques. Strange drill cores, pulled from solid granite, stone surfaces vitrified by intense heat, and unknown bonding materials that held massive blocks together. But when modern researchers go looking for these samples, they often find they have disappeared from museum archives, been mysteriously reclassified, or were simply never cataloged properly in the first place. Was this just poor record keeping? Or did these materials point to a technology so disruptive, so far outside the accepted narrative, that the world simply wasn't ready to acknowledge it? Beyond construction, some of these ancient sites hint at an even more profound technology: the mastery of energy itself. Researchers investigating certain temples and megalithic structures have recorded strange electromagnetic anomalies. They find specific stone blocks that resonate at unusual frequencies, chambers designed to amplify sound waves to incredible levels, and massive pillars aligned in patterns that resemble modern electrical circuits. A growing number of independent investigators have proposed a radical theory that these sites were not just places of worship, but functional machines. They suggest these ancient complexes may have served as immense power systems, geothermal plants, or even global communication centers, harnessing the natural energies of the earth. Could the legends of sacred places holding great power be a folk memory of a lost science? The evidence for this forgotten age isn't just carved in stone, it's drawn on maps. Several ancient maps have survived that defy all conventional explanation. The most famous is the Piri Reis map, which appears to show the coast of Antarctica, but without its ice cap. Other maps, like the Orontius Phineus and Mercator charts, also depict land masses and coastlines as they would have looked before the end of the last ice age, over 12,000 years ago. They show rivers, mountains, and land bridges that are now submerged beneath hundreds of feet of water. This suggests that someone or some civilization accurately charted the entire world at a time when, according to our history books, advanced civilization didn't even exist. Who were these master cartographers of a prehistoric world? When we look at all this evidence together, a compelling pattern emerges. The similarities in construction techniques, mathematical constants, and astronomical knowledge found across continents, from Egypt to Mesoamerica, from India to the Pacific Islands, are too consistent to be a coincidence. This strongly suggests a shared source of knowledge, a global knowledge transfer. Did an earlier, highly advanced civilization exist on Earth, a mother culture that passed on its wisdom to fledgling societies around the world before it vanished into the mists of history? Was there a golden age of technology that was lost in a great cataclysm, leaving behind only fragmented echoes of its former glory? This leaves us with the final, unavoidable question: where did all this technology come from? Are we looking at the legacy of a forgotten human civilization, a lost chapter of our own history that has been deliberately erased or simply forgotten over millennia? Or is the answer something else entirely? The machines of this ancient world may be gone, their workshops may be turned to dust, but their legacy remains, an undeniable truth written in stone, waiting for us to finally read it. If you're ready to uncover more Forbidden's history and explore the stories that lie hidden in the margins, subscribe to the True Story Files, and let us know in the comments which ancient technology you believe is the most impossible.